And now I'm being joined by Stuart Welsh. Thank you very much for joining me. It's great to chat with you. Before we delve into the questions here, could you give our audience a bit of background on yourself, the company, and how we tie into NTT here?
Yep. So I'm Stuart Welsh. I'm the IT director at AESSEAL PLC. AES are we've got two products and services that we deliver to our customers. The first is we manufacture, design mechanical seals that are used in a wide range of rotating equipment, pumps, motors, mixers, and so on.
Yeah.
And we also then have a reliability improvement business that provides professional services and increasingly using sensors to capture vibration analysis and then use that information to drive reliability and maintenance decisions. So back in 2016, when we agreed the project, we went through the normal selection process that everybody does, and we ended up selecting SAP S4, and we also selected NTT Data as our preferred implementation partner. So we've worked with NTT since our project launch. We officially launched our project in September 2017.
Excellent. Okay. And you have been on quite a journey in terms of going through it all, and you, especially during a pandemic as well, must have been extra hard. So just talk us through that transformational journey during a pandemic, the selection process, and what you really had to go through to get that S4 up to scratch.
Okay. So we formally launched our project in September 2017, and the first phase of our project was to build a global template. Because the mandate was we deliver one solution for the entire AESSEAL group of companies.
Yeah.
We built our template and we delivered using S4 best practices into the UK business, into AESSEAL PLC, and we went live in PLC on the 1st of January 2019. And that was very much the old-fashioned way of delivering projects, workshops and training sessions and so on. And then our next project was to take our solution and implement into North America, into our business headquartered out of Tennessee in North America. And again, that was very much an old-fashioned way of doing things. We traveled to America, we delivered workshops, and we went live in North America in March 2020. We finished our hypercare at the end of March. And it almost felt like as we arrived back in Heathrow, the shutters were closed behind us, and the world went crazy, and suddenly we're into the world of lockdowns and no travel and work from home. But we'd learnt a lot. We'd learnt and proven that our template approach worked. We'd got sites up and running in the UK and the US successfully.
Perfect.
So we then took a view as to how could we take that knowledge that we'd learned, how do we change the way in which we deliver training and workshops and that whole implementation process to be able to do it in a virtual world, in a world of Teams or Blue Jeans or Zoom or whatever you choose to use. So the approach that we took was to take each of those workshop sessions that were well planned and well thought out and break them down into a series of hour-and-a-half long sessions. You know, any longer than an hour and a half, you know what it's like. You don't want to be on a Blue Jeans for more than that. So we broke them down into a series of hour-and-a-half long, typically, events, and said that's what we're going to deliver. So we restructured our project based around delivery of those kind of time slots. And what we then found, purely by accident, if we're being honest, is that had a huge benefit to us as a project team, because scheduling a consultant for an hour and a half is an awful lot easier than scheduling someone for 8 hours.
Very true.
And it also then has a knock-on effect to our customers, our end users. Because again, that gives them the flexibility to join certain sessions and to knock out certain sessions. We can repeat sessions, we can record them. So that was a huge benefit. We record each of the workshop sessions, put them on our SharePoint site, and users can then go back and rerun them and refresh them. And new people coming into the business or changing of roles, it proved to be invaluable. And that's fundamentally what we've done, is we then took that methodology. We believed it would work. We didn't know, but we believed it would work. And the first sort of acid test of that was we implemented into two businesses in Ireland, using remote virtual training workshops, and that was very successful. There were challenges, there always are,
of course.
But fundamentally it worked. And we then took that, we then used that model, we then implemented into Europe. We've 2 sites went live in Europe, We've then implemented back in North America, so our site in Canada, our company in Canada has gone live. Another sites in Europe, culminating in 12 sites, 12 plants going live in Africa on the 1st November this year.
Excellent.
All done remotely. We go live in the Middle East tomorrow, and another business here in the UK tomorrow.
Big day.
Yeah, big day, big switch on day. And all of that has been done via video conference, all remotely, no visits on site. And that's very much our intention going forward. Not only is it beneficial for us as a project team, we find we're more effective use of our time, more effective use of our end users' time.
Yeah.
We've also allowed us to compress our project timescales because we are more effective.
Yeah.
And we can actually now run 2 parallel project streams. So we've got one stream will be about 3 or 4 weeks ahead of the other. So we can significantly reduce the end-to-end time for delivery of those projects.
Yeah.
And to date, it's been hugely successful.
You've been through this journey, and obviously, as we've said, there's been roadblocks along the way, but it has worked out, and it's great to hear about the launches happening tomorrow. But if you could give a piece of advice to someone who's starting on this journey, which you wish you had been told at the start, what would you kind of want to advise?
Data. All about data. When we look at the challenges we had post go live, particularly in the UK, we went live on time, on budget in the UK, but we then had a number of months of pain. The business operated, so this is not a horror story by any means, but it took us a long time to get to a business as usual footing, and that was all driven by data.
Okay.
If we're honest, we were overconfident in our ability to get source data. We were overconfident in our ability to transform that so that we could load it into SAP. The quality of the data was inconsistent. We were a well-run business. We are a well-run business. But the requirements of our business when you're running in discrete, isolated pockets is not quite the same as it is when you're running in a joined-up environment. And so I wish we'd started our data process 6 months earlier than we did. And that's the lesson we have now learned, is we start our data mining process, our data quality evaluation significantly earlier in our implementations, because it's the one thing that continues to catch us out. The software works. Our implementation process works. NTT now provide us with actually very little day-to-day project support. It's mainly geared around legal fiscals, which was always the plan. But the one thing I would change is data and our approach to data.
Perfect. Well, that's why we come to these events, so people can learn from others who have gone along that journey, and I think that's some fantastic advice. So Stuart, thank you for talking to me. It's been great getting your advice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Stuart.